Tayammum in cases where tayammum is allowed. To perform tayammum, one must strike both of his palms on soil or other permissible substances with the intention of tayammum. Of course, according to some of the marjas, one must clarify in his attention whether the tayammum is in place of wudu or ghusl. If it is in place of ghusl, then which ghusl? It is recommended to dust one's hand after hitting them on the soil. Then, one must wipe his whole palm over his whole forehead and its two sides from the point where hair grows down to the eyebrows, including the eyebrows themselves. The rest of the face is outside the limits of tayammum. Then we wipe the entire left palm over the right backhand from the wrist to the tips of the fingers. And then we wipe the entire right palm over all of one left palm. It is not necessary to wipe between the fingers, but it is necessary to make sure the hand being wiped stays still while wiping it. As a general rule, the place being wiped must remain still. Some of the marjas believe that one must strike his hands on the dirt and wipe the back of his hands a second time in order for the tayammum to be correct. But when can one perform tayammum in place of wudu or ghusl? 1. If one cannot get a hold of water, for example, if we're in a place where there is no water and it's very difficult to get water, or we're afraid that if we do get water, we'll be inflicted by financial or physical damage due to animal or a thief. If a person has usurped water, he cannot make wudu with it. He's like a person who doesn't have water at all and must make tayammum. 2. If one thinks water might harm him, this only holds true if people agree on the possibility of water being harmful and it being substantial enough to refrain from water. 3. Being afraid that one's supply of water will finish and he or she, his companions, or anyone who's saving their life is obligatory, will remain thirsty and without water. This is only in the case of that the thirstiness causes death, sickness, or extreme difficulty. 4. If one's body or clothes are najis and one has so little water that if he performs wudu, he will not have enough water to make his body or clothes tahir. 5. If there isn't enough time for prayer, that is, when one is not sure if by making wudu, he will have enough time to perform the entire prayer without the recommended acts, or even reciting a surah after Surah Al-Hamd if he performs wudu. It is forbidden to purposely delay the prayer until one is forced to perform tayammum instead of wudu or ghusl. However, the prayer that is performed with tayammum in such cases is correct. One important point is that being shy to ask others for using the shower to make ghusl is not an excuse to leave ghusl and make tayammum instead.